How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you exactly what it's like to drive the all-new 992 Porsche Turbo S. This bad boy is powered by a 3.7-liter twin turbocharged flat six, making 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. Now, in its stock form, it's got all-wheel drive, an 8-speed PDK, and it can sprint from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.6 seconds. This car, however, is not stock. It's been modified by Peter Northrup, the owner of 1016 Industries and 9 Designs. It's got some beautiful center-lock 9 Design wheels, but it's also got an IPE exhaust and a VF Engineering tune, giving this thing 750 plus horsepower. So the 0 to 60 now is closer to 2.2 seconds, as if 2.6 wasn't fast enough. Now we've got this gorgeous active wing that can actually lower down to improve and reduce drag. And we even have an active front splitter right here that can stow up into the front bumper to reduce drag. Now let's go ahead and hop on the inside of the Turbo S. Now you'll notice the door handles are flush to the door itself. If we put our hands close to the car, it actually opens up like this. You can actually lock the car by touching it as well. We'll go ahead, open up the Turbo S to reveal a very, very nice interior. 911s have always had nice interiors. The new 992 takes it up a notch even further. Let's go ahead and start the car. Now, with Porsche tradition, we've got the ignition on the left-hand side. That's because in the races where they used to actually run from the outside of the car and hop into it at the start of a race, it was easier to turn the car on with your left hand and put it into gear with your right hand. Even though this is an automatic, we've still got that. Fire up that flat six. That IPE exhaust does sound pretty good. Porsche has some of the best steering wheels in the business. It's simplistic, it's got just the right amount of buttons. I love the way the PDK paddles feel behind it, and we've got this awesome drive mode selector down here. So right now we are in normal mode. We can turn it to sport, sport plus, individual, or wet mode. We're gonna put it into sport plus mode. Now we've also got a gorgeous 10.9-inch display right here. Tons of controls, beautiful graphics, really easy to use. We can go ahead and deactivate that spoiler if we want. Go ahead and retract spoiler by pressing and holding. Although I don't really want to do that because it looks cooler, to be honest. You can also change the drive mode and the chassis control from there, but I really like how it's mounted on the wheel itself. Now, this is how you actually put the car into drive or reverse, this little lever here. Go ahead and pull it back to put it into drive or push it forward to put it into reverse. Got a really nice backup camera, actually, where you can see a multitude of different angles and the car in an actual live view, which is pretty awesome for a car of this performance capability. And because we have rear wheel steering, you can maneuver this car in parking lots so well. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you. The turning radius is hilarious. Go ahead and crank the wheel. In an all-wheel drive supercar, you shouldn't be able to turn as easily as this car, as I don't make the turn. But take my word for it, it is pretty darn awesome. Up at the top of the dash, we've got the beautiful Sport Chrono package that comes standard with the 911 Turbo S. It's an option on the 911 Turbo. That actually gives us some additional driving modes. It gives us launch control, which I'll demonstrate in a second. It also gives you this sport response button. So if I click this in the center of the drive mode, for 20 seconds, it's giving me the best possible response for the engine and transmission. It also gives me the best shifting times available. So we're gonna go ahead and put it into drive. To put it into manual, you click this M button right here. Some nice climate controls here, a front lift, which is really nice. It activates very fast. Also, this button here is a memory button, so you can save that to be whatever preset you want. You've also got one here on the steering wheel. Let's go ahead and put it in drive and take the car out on the road, shall we? Activating launch control in the Turbo S is super easy. All you have to do is put it into Sport or Sport Plus mode. Now, interestingly enough, apparently it launches better in Sport mode, according to Car and Driver, because it doesn't activate that rear wing and front splitter. You floor the brake with the left foot, floor the gas with the right foot, it revs up, and then off you go. But you can actually get an even higher launch than 4K, up to 5K if you click the Sport Response button beforehand. We've got 20 seconds. Oh my God. almost no car that launches as brutally as the Turbo S. I mean, this even gives a Tesla Plaid a run for its money in terms of its off-the-line acceleration. Holy crap. And then at the same time, it's got really nice build quality in here. You can throw the car back into normal mode. It's even got engine stop-start, which is hilarious in supercars, honestly. Especially with the loud exhaust, it sounds kind of obnoxious when it starts back up again, like that. Well, look at that. We can deactivate auto start-stop. But now when we're in normal mode, this car is easy to drive. You could honestly daily drive a 911 Turbo S, as crazy as that sounds. You've got plenty of space in the front trunk. You've got storage space in the rear because the rear seats are useless. 128 liters up front. Basically the exact same amount as a base model 911, which is pretty cool that you don't lose any space. The visibility is fantastic. Everywhere throughout the car, over your shoulder. Anyone can drive this car, honestly. Because you've got all-wheel drive, yes, it's blisteringly fast in a straight line, but it's not intimidating, the power level. Because of that all-wheel drive, it gets such good traction that honestly, you're not going to spin out in this car unless you do something. I can't even think of the scenario. You'd have to be purposely trying to total it with traction off, the steering wheel all the way turned, and activating launch control off a cliff or something like that. But this car is honestly such a pleasure to drive. Now, it's not as sharp in terms of the steering feel, of course, as a GT3 or 3RS or 2RS because it's all-wheel drive, and it's a little bit heavier. It's 3,600 pounds, but by today's standards, 3,600 pounds isn't really heavy whatsoever. But it's still got that classic Porsche steering feel. It's nice and tight, it's very direct, the wheel itself feels fantastic in your hands, and it's just got this quality to the turn-in and this nimbleness to the driving experience that really only Porsche is capable of, and I truly, truly love and respect that about the Turbo S. Go ahead and give it a nice acceleration here. Wow, it really doesn't let up. It just keeps pulling harder and harder. Oh my God. Oh my God, this thing is fast. Oh my gosh. As if the 640 horsepower car stock wasn't fast enough, now we have so much power, it's actually frightening. When those turbos spool, oh! The acceleration is out of this world. Now, I'm definitely gonna need to demonstrate a launch control for you guys. And because of that rear wheel steering, you've got a lot more stability at high speeds because the front wheels are turning in the same direction as the rear wheels, and then at slow speeds you've got that extra maneuverability because they go the opposite direction. Carbon ceramic brakes stop the car unbelievably well. They're 420 millimeters, which are huge for the front. This car didn't need any better brakes than before, but it's got them. Now, turbos aren't really known for sounding incredibly good. They kind of sound like intense vacuum cleaners, but with the IP exhaust and the tune, this thing doesn't sound half bad. And it drives so nicely, you kind of forget about the sound. Now, these are one of two options for the seats. These are the standard 18-way power adjustable seats. You can get upgraded carbon buckets, which are uncomfortable, and you shouldn't get them in your Turbo S. The standard seats are much, much better. Got some nice storage space here, glove box, as well as right here, but most of your storage is gonna be on that rear shelf. Go ahead and flip a U-turn, because that turning radius is phenomenal. Go ahead and flick another launch control, shall we? Wow! Oh, it just absolutely rips off the line. Special thanks to 9 Design and 1016 Industries for making this video possible. I've got a link in the description below. 9 Design's coming out with a ton of new parts for the 911. So if you guys got one, definitely get their kit. I've got a 1016 Industries hood on my McLaren, made by the same guy, Peter Northrup, owner of this car. Thanks for letting me review it, man. And I've absolutely loved it, and I had a 1016 kit on my Huracan as well. And the Porsche products are no different in terms of their epic quality. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. The 911 Turbo S is phenomenal, and I love the fact that you can pull both paddles and free rev it. Oh my God, this thing pulls ballistically hard. All right, guys, see you next video.